Here we go, and it is time for another sprint zone, February 20th, 2024, and we have an enormous group. It's probably close to 25. Got a little bit of wind coming out of the east, and I've been on the windward side, and it is, well, I'm bleeding off energy that I wish I would have saved for the sprint zone. I'd like to thank Scott for his telemetry and his video. And we've got our 30-second power up top, and we've got our instantaneous power down below, along with our heart rates, my speed, and Scott's speeds up in the upper right-hand corner with his video. So everyone's looking pretty strong. Got a good shot of Roby, got Marcelo, and a bunch of NPCs back there today. As we make the corner, it is now game on. And now we're directly into a headwind. And maybe it's slightly off of our right shoulder, but it is a stiff headwind and it's keeping the speeds down. And you can see that no one wants to go to the front except for Ben Nelson. A wicked attack off the front, and no one reacts. Everybody is looking for everybody else to do something. We've got Byron back there on a mountain bike. He's not going to be any help bringing back Ben. We don't have a lot of the strong men up at the front. And so it looks like this could be game over, but it's such a stiff headwind. If maybe we got organized, we could bring this one back. But there's no reaction at the front. Danny and Roby sitting up there, and it's a good tempo. It doesn't look like we're going that fast at like 16 miles an hour, but the wattage that I'm putting out just trying to sit in there, looking at my instantaneous watts above 200, and there goes Josh making an attack, trying to bring back Ben. And I don't know if this is hubris or what the deal is, but he has gone pretty hard, and he doesn't think or he doesn't want any help. Byron on the mountain bike sees this, and this is an opportunity to maybe bridge the gap up to Ben, but it is going to be bear skins and stone knives. And then we digress a little bit. We got Wolfgang chatting with the guy in the Jeep who's saying something about us taking over the road. And people really need to get over their car-centric mentality. As Wolfgang told him, we are taxpayers. Can you imagine if we were an auto club and now we've got our 25 Porsches doing whatever, clogging up the road? They wouldn't be saying anything because we're autos. But I digress here. Looking rearward, more NPCs, and we see John, Marcelo sitting back there, and we've got no sense of urgency from the group here as Ben has pretty much checked out, and Byron and Josh are up the road. But that's a stiff headwind. And there we go. Steve Hyland, always willing to animate things and to work for the group. Scott has an excellent position there. John slots in, Danny slots in, Marcel's behind me, and we got Wolfgang. Looks like Roby fading back there, not wanting any more of the sharp end of the stick, but he's done a lot of work up there, so well done there. Wolfgang on that new shiny bike, and we are working pretty hard here. I mean, for the speed to only be 22 miles an hour, I know Steve is putting out some really good wattage, and you can see that my 30-second power, where it's only 67 to 80 watts, that's how good the draft is. Even Scott putting out 90 and 100 watts. So at this point, I know that Danny is feeling the angst. He's feeling that we should be rotating, and under normal circumstances, I would say, yeah, we need to rotate. But we're not playing checkers here. We're playing chess. And when we're playing chess, different pieces have different strengths. And Steve is a strong man. If Steve, who was at the front, dropped his speed, then it's time to rotate if no one's going by. So now Danny's trying to wave people by. No one wants to go by. Scott decides to go. And now Danny pulls off to the wrong side. Good intent, but I just disagree with the tactics at that point. In any case, starting to almost get organized, and the work is hard here. The wind is stiff up there. And John goes to the front. Normally a man to sit back, but now he is going to try to help the group bridge up. And this took a little bit of effort, a little bit of acceleration there. And you can see my 30-second power went up above 200 watts. Rearward, still a whole gaggle of people. And this headwind is keeping everybody together. Everyone wants a free ride to the end, but not many people want to do any work. It reminds me of that story of the little red hen. Who will help me plant the seed? Who will help me reap the harvest? Who will help me bake the bread? But when it came time for everyone to eat the bread, they were all there. And that's what's happening. They want a free ride to the end. In any case, things are starting to hot up here, and we're putting out a lot of work. Everyone working hard, and Byron brought back, Josh brought back. Good effort. Thanks for animating. Thanks for playing our game today. We probably could have used some of that horsepower, but Ben is just too strong. Everyone just sitting in. And now we can see my 30-second power into the 180s. Scott's up around 240. So he is at the front, and you can see the differential. Even at only 18 miles an hour, and this is keeping people together. Roby goes to the front. I try to follow, but at this point, Roby's going too hard, and I am not going to be able to go around at this point, and I am basically hung out to dry into the wind and trying to slot back in to get myself some respite here. My heart rate's a little lower than Scott's. Mine's at 154. Not horrible, but I did some sort of workout yesterday, and I was just not able to throw down any extra matches to go to the front. Scott's camera showing how hard Roby's working up there. And we're coming towards that little grade. And this is the little grade as one of those selection points. And the heads of state as we have them are all here at the front. Yes, there are others back there. Mr. Mellinger on his gravel bike has not made his presence known yet. And many others. Looking towards the front of the stick, everybody's working hard here. But my 30-second power has really dropped. It shows how hard it is at the front. And we're really not that well organized, but we're not really all that matched as far as strength and such. It is difficult to get coordination here, especially into a headwind. And there's that flag there showing the wind coming off of our right shoulder into the front here, and it is wicked strong. And I don't know, I'm looking up the road, and Ben has checked out, and this is a most impressive performance. Having chatted with him later on, he said he averaged about 285 watts for this one, and he was disappointed. Yeah, disappointed at 285 watts. Like, WTF? I could only dream of putting out some such wattage, and maybe then only on an e-bike. But I digress. Looking rearward, lots of people sitting in. Everybody very comfortable. And if you look at my wattage being as low as it is, you know that everybody back there, except for the people on the right end of the shoulder, are pushing an easy burden there. Scott working hard up front, Steve taking over, and everybody is racing for second place. I'm a little further up than I really want to be. I really want to be back there, but I don't want to be gapped off. Like, there was an earlier section, and I should have talked about this because I digressed, where Roby let a little bit of a gap open up, and it took me the better of 350 watts to follow as he closed that little 4 or whatever bike lane. Like, that was hard, not good. But once again, I'm calling out people, and maybe if I upset people, less people will come out. And there goes Byron on the mountain bike, making a sneak attack, and there's still no reaction from the peanut gallery. There are many people that saw that happening, and they just sat in. Scott's boxing, he couldn't do anything. It looks like Mark was boxed in, he couldn't do anything. And the strong men, perhaps they gave Byron no respect on the mountain bike. Steve and Roby going hard, and now my wattage surges to over 400 for the instantaneous. A good 230, 240 for 30-second as my legs are screaming. And now some of those who were sitting in begin to come to the front. We've got Mark coming in there. Scott starting to slot in a little bit. I'm allowing him the courtesy to become, the man in front of me as I keep myself safe instead of being back there with the gaggle. Well organized now. Nice pace line as we bring back Byron. And I'm wondering what kind of horsepower he's putting out on that mountain bike, which isn't even set up right. Suspension not even locked out. What the heck? Oh, and the first sighting of Mr. Mellinger on that new gravel bike. Look out, everybody. Mr. Mellinger has taken up gravel, and I'm certain that there are many people in the age group that are going to be slotted down as he's probably going to be on the podium. Wolfgang looking strong here as the rest of the group goes now. They go hard after we brought back Byron. At this point, I'm pretty much spent. Don't have anything. And you can see how easy it was. Ilka there on the gravel bike sitting in. Everybody here. I don't think there was a selection here. Everybody wanted to eat the bread, but no one wanted to harvest or bake it. And I guess that's okay. You reap what you sow. And if you're not working hard in the early season, if you're just sitting in a month or two from now, you will find yourself wanting because you didn't work hard enough. You didn't put yourself out there. But the sprint zone is what it is, and you can do what you want. I'm in it for the work as we settle in. So now looking at the front in the upper right, Mr. Mellinger, who was working hard as he's almost got it, but Scott nips him at the top. It looks like going hard. What Scott putting out looks like 490 watts. Over 400 for 30 seconds. Most impressive, as I would say Scott is the most improved and the strongest rider these days on this ride, except for, Ben, who had checked out, and that's the difference between an A rider and a B rider, using the Zwift wattage per kilogram ratings, and Ben being the A rider. And right now, he's not even a strong A rider, as admitted. And you saw what he did. Just ripped us apart, and no one had an answer. Well done, Ben, and welcome back. That was enjoyable. I enjoyed that one. That was good. And until next time, peace out. And now we'll enjoy some scenery. Or some more of my ranting. Yeah, that was hard. Easy to sit in, but hard not to hard to be at the pointy end of the stick there. I'm gonna get a good view of those who made it to the end before myself. Well done, everyone. Well done. Until next time, peace out.